Today I got here about 4 o'clock. Normally I'm here at 3 o'clock. I love coming down here early like that because I don't have no distractions and I can focus. So once sauces are all ready and I got my seasonings already, and then I just start mixing everything. And when the guys come in to work, sauce is ready to go.
The man who first cooked up his barbecue sauce for family and friends in 1986 in a pot on the kitchen stove is now making it in 60 and 80-gallon kettles. He's still the chief cook, but he is now in a position to hire some bottle washers.
We're just doing all pints. We're going to do 50 cases. Okay.
The product is Freddie Lee's Ghetto sauce. The same product is sold at Schnucks as American Gourmet sauce. And that's okay with Freddie Lee because Schnucks was really his first big customer. They wanted a name change, and they got one.
Immediately, they gave us 5 stores. And when I started doing demos at those stores, they gave us 5 more. And told me they're going to put us in all of them. So we're in 99 Schnucks stores.
Other stores, like Deerberg's, are selling it under the original Ghetto sauce name. One of his biggest customers is the Iowa-based Hy-Vee chain. And when those stores need more sauce, Freddie himself still gets in the truck and hits the road.
I go to Des Moines, Iowa. I drop it off at their warehouse. Or I go to Kansas City. Or I go to Columbia or Jeff City. Wherever the Hy-Vee store is, that's where I go.
This was not our first time doing the Freddie Lee story. In 2017, we did a program about Missouri entrepreneurs. And Freddie Lee and Deborah talked about how they moved the business from their home to the St. Patrick's Center's Business Incubator, which rented out its kitchen to entrepreneurs and gave advice and mentorship. And when money was running short, they got startup loans that kept the business and the dream alive. After this, they contracted with a commercial food operation to make the sauce in bigger and bigger batches. But Freddie wasn't always happy with the quality control, the taste.
You can't really find people who's going to take care of your product. And that's what we've tried it, and it didn't work. So I figured if it's got to go, I got to do it. Now, I taste everything before I put it in a jar. Oh, it's right on point. Now it's ready for the jars.
If there's a secret to the success of this business besides the sauce recipe, it's the partnership. This is a food business. Freddie is the food. Deborah is the business.
She's been trying to teach me, man, but I tell her, baby, you handle that. Let me handle this.
So now we have graduated and purchased our own building.
Have to probably borrow some money to do this, right?
Yes, we did. We sat down, talked about it, what it was going to look like, how it was going to feel, how much hair we was going to lose. But it was the right move. It was time because we were steady growing.
Part of the growth is making small batches of other people's sauces. They charge for that. But if you want advice, that's free.
So you'll even help somebody who's making barbecue sauce
Yeah.
get on the shelf next to you.
Absolutely, I have. Yeah. I'm not in competition with nobody.
Freddie and I always say that someone helped us, to get to where we are. And we want to do the same thing. It's part of like paying it forward.
And part of that is staying in the city of St. Louis, buying the small strip mall that once housed a convenience store.
But no, I'm rooted, and I want to stay in the city of St. Louis. That's what helped us build. So why run when you start getting somewhere?
So you've been in this business for how long now?
18 years.
It's doing well.
Yes, sir, it is.
So why are you still coming in at 4 a.m. to spend a day cooking sauce, spending another day going to Des Moines or to Kansas City and deliver these things? Why don't you kick back and let somebody else do this?
Well, you have to talk to the wife about that.
Freddie and I kick it around sometimes. Do we ever want to sell our company? No. We like what we do.
And they've done well, against the odds really. And they're willing to help others follow in their footsteps, sometimes with some very simple advice.
I try to tell them that. If you don't want to put the effort in, you don't love it, don't do it. That's money right there, baby.
According to the 2022 State of the St. Louis Workforce Report, startups created nearly 15,000 jobs in 2021 around the St. Louis region. Of course, not all of those businesses look like Freddie Lee's, but entrepreneurs do play a significant role in our local economy. Joining us now is Gabriella Ramierez-Arellano, who is the Vice President of Entrepreneurship at Cortex. Welcome, Gabriella.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, Freddie Lee, he had a lot of success starting in his house and now, in stores all over the place. How often do we see success stories like this?
Freddie and Deborah are amazing. They really live up to what they say about sharing their lessons learned and their journey, and they're supporters of the Square One program. So we actually take our students to visit the facility. We just were there in the fall, in November. And they really were just so open and welcoming, right? So that's just one part of it. But Main Street businesses and small businesses like Freddie Lee's are the economic engine of our neighborhoods, our community, and our region. And you shared some statistics too. The SBA says that new jobs are created, and 2/3 of the jobs created are by small businesses. So they definitely add to the vibrancy of our region and of the neighborhoods, which is where the people are.
And at Cortex, I think of more technology, scientific-based startups, but you personally have experience with businesses, restaurants like Freddie Lee's.
Yeah, so traditionally Cortex has focused through our Square One suite of programs to really support IT, bioscience, and consumer manufacturing. But our new strategic plan is really focused on inclusive economic growth in the region, in St. Louis, and in the neighborhoods. And so we are so excited. I'm so excited because my family owns a restaurant, to be able to start a new food track in collaboration with Propel Kitchen to really support a gap that has existed in the region for a long time for food entrepreneurs, because we see a lot of people really starting out of their homes and looking for commercial kitchens, but really just trying to provide a network for them. And also the resources in St. Louis are amazing. So we have so many different pipeline partners and business service organizations that if we can't support an entrepreneur or a business that comes to us, that we can refer them to someone in the region that can.
Yeah, and in food business aside, this idea of the side hustle or profiting from your hobby, it's really trendy right now, really popular. How else do you see that manifesting in St. Louis?
Well, I feel like the side hustle being trendy is allowing us, entrepreneurs and creative thinkers and innovators, the opportunity to take a risk and to follow our passion and see where it leads. And then on top of that, the pandemic really had us questioning and kind of re-looking at, do I want to stay in this 9 to 5, or, life is short. I've never had a chance to follow my true passion of a small business. So the trend, I feel, is really empowering a lot of people. And to be in St. Louis with that drive and that dream is really beneficial because, like I said, there are so many resources here that really can support regardless of what type of business you want to start.
And as a result of the pandemic, I assume, there's a lot more opportunity to sell online and have a website, not a brick and mortar traditional store. How do you see that affecting the St. Louis entrepreneurship?
I think we were leaning toward online selling. Just look at in the food industry, like all the new platforms that deliver, DoorDash and Grubhub, right? And so I feel like during the pandemic, many of us were forced to either get online or figure out another way to do business because it wasn't going to work. And so I do see an increase in ask for resources, and we also see technology changing and even just providing new services. Through our Square One program, we have people that maybe are interested in an IT, an app, an online store that now can support the retail businesses because of the ideas and the innovation that they're developing. We had someone that graduated from Square One last year who, she was from Israel, an attorney, couldn't work when she came here, but she came to follow her husband for a job in one of the corporations. And the worst thing for her was not being able to find the food that she wanted, right? The nostalgia and to feel at home. And so she's now creating an app that's going to connect the people that make the food with buyers that are interested in finding, something that is not here at a grocery store, perhaps.
And that plays into, you're an immigrant yourself, and you spend a lot of time, advocating for other immigrants. How does diversity play into entrepreneurship in St. Louis?
I think diversity is detrimental to the region, to the economy, to the neighborhoods. And for me, being able to support entrepreneurs that are immigrants or from diverse backgrounds also adds to the diversity of the region, right? In a sense, like the example I gave you, it's a retention tool. So maybe no one else will feel that nostalgia to go back to their country or back to where they are familiar with, because now they have a resource where they could find that food that helped them feel better. We're a driving force. The entrepreneurial mindset, I think, is just very much something that we all dream about. And to have the tools here, to have the resources, really just support the entrepreneurs to make sure that they can move forward with those dreams and make a difference in the region, not just for the entrepreneurship, but for everybody.
And so you've mentioned several times different resources that people can use. What advice or resources would you connect other entrepreneurs with?
So first I would say, don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of times I feel like that as an entrepreneur, it limits us because maybe they won't have an answer, or maybe they can't help us, or maybe I'm not asking the right thing, right? But it's through asking that maybe you come to me at square one and I say, hey, well, I can't help you, but here's who can, right? So definitely get online, start looking up at entrepreneurship, start with our website at Cortex to be connected to the ecosystem partners. The Balsa Foundation has grants. Arch Grants, of course, is very popular, but not everybody's at an Arch Grant level yet, right? The other thing about St. Louis is entrepreneurs are so helpful. Just like Freddie and Deborah, they want to give back because at some point someone helped us. And it just goes back to don't be afraid to ask for help, because the resources are there. I know a lot of times we want the money, the capital. That could be a little harder to get. But the resources that are going to help you develop your idea, find your target market, really connect, are available to you. So definitely reach out. Start with one organization, and I know that they will connect you to all the others.
Gabriella, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.